We're off.
We're off and running.
Episode number 6 of Collecting Stories. I'm Tarek.
And I'm Zayd. And we haven't really talked to each other much the past week.
No, we haven't. We're also late this week. We both had some obligations. Monday, you were doing some mountain biking out in Utah.
In Moab, Utah. It was pretty crazy. It's like Mars out there. And man, the mountain biking, it's just mountain biking galore.
It's awesome.
Didn't find any card shops there though. I didn't really look either, but I mean,
yeah, and then Monday I had tennis, and yesterday we went to a show. So we're recording on Wednesday today. We'll try to get back on track. Even for the longer week, this was a slow week for me, Zayd. I'm disappointed in my card collecting efforts this week. Well, I'm disappointed, by the way, as I'm happy, but I'm disappointed.
he's disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Happy because I didn't just react to the fact that I wasn't doing anything and go buy something, which is what I typically would have done. But disappointed because I really didn't find anything.
Oh my gosh. Well, I might be just disappointed.
Okay.
Because, you know what, I'm disappointed too, because I got some cool things from breaks that have been rescheduled many times. But then I also didn't get cool things from breaks. So it's like, you know, it's the give and take, you know?
Well, let's. I mean, I can recap pretty quickly because my week was pretty slow. Well, now I'm trying to remember. Did I open the tennis box after I think it was after our last one. Okay, so a couple of things. I ripped another box of Chrome Tennis. I believe my set is complete. And as part of that box, I pulled a John McEnroe auto out of 25, which is pretty cool. And then I did participate in a break also. It was with that $50 of free credit. I'm not sure if I hit or not because I haven't watched the break, so I'll find out. Report on that maybe in the next episode. And then I purchased a card, which I'm supposed to receive on Monday. So when I do that, when that card comes in, maybe I'll be able to share it for the next episode or 2 episodes after this. Otherwise, it was just kind of looking around, listening to podcasts. So I do have topics I'm interested in based on some of the podcasts I listen to. But as far as my own efforts, they were pretty. It was pretty weak this week. This past longer than a week.
We'll have strong weeks and we'll have weak weeks, but I'm glad you're disappointed and not just disappointed. That's a plus. That's always a plus.
How about you?
My week, I've actually been taking cards off of my shelf because it was loaded. Now it looks like there's not a lot on there. I just kind of realized I want to just display the cards that I really, really like. And the other stuff can go in a box or a binder or something. And it's kind of motivated me to complete some of these insert sets or smaller sets that I have displaying that are incompleted. So that's kind of exciting. I also joined a 5-case break with Vita breaks for the SpongeBob Top Chrome, just to try to, I don't know, it was kind of exciting. He was doing dollar auctions for these sets and everything. And I actually got my package of cards just now. I just went to the mailbox right now, and I'm actually opening them as we speak.
Okay, this is exciting.
So the thing that it was a rant. There were dollar auctions for cards that aren't really big hitters. So I got this card or this selection for $16, and it was called the Guttermouth Convention. I just thought that was a funny name, and it has a really funny picture on it as well.
And that's a specific card. That's one specific card.
That's one specific card but he broke 5 cases of this stuff. So it's like, man. So I watched the break, and holy moly, I hit. I mean, it wasn't like a massive hit, but I hit. So I'm opening them right now, and check this out. Okay. So refractor and a lot of base.
Okay.
And
Let me see that card. Show me that card. Let me just see it if you can hold it up to the camera.
Sure.
So I can.
I'll put a picture.
I like the art on these. Ah, cool. Okay.
Old man Jenkins in a chair.
Okay.
And it says the Guttermouth Convention on the bottom.
That's a cool card.
Is that weird? I love that card so much. So it looks like I got a refractor. I have like 15, 20 base cards in here. A refractor. And out of 175.
Nice.
And then get this. 2 out of 99s.
Those are the bubbles or whatever?
These are the bubbles.
Nice.
But in 5 cases, the same card getting an out of 99 twice, that's pretty crazy, actually. And I was watching the break, and he was like, man, the Guttermouth Convention's having a crazy break today. I'm like, yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Guttermouth was eaten, huh? Guttermouth was eaten.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save one of these out of 99s, just keep one, and then maybe give one to someone or try to sell it or something. I don't need 2 of them, that's for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, that was very exciting. And I got so excited on that break that he was doing another one. 5 more cases. And I bought into that one too. So
Okay.
So I bought into the Champions of the Deep card and the Glove World card. So I don't know what I got from there yet, but
Did those breaks actually occur yet, or?
I think they did, but I just haven't seen them yet. And then the other break that I went into where I got like the 40 plus cards, that hasn't broken yet. I'm thinking
Really?
It's been like a week and a half already. He's desperate, I think.
Oh my gosh!
I just think, I don't know. He must be just a smaller, like, one man show breaker, you know, while Vita Breaks is kind of this big company, I think.
Yeah. So, anything else notable events from the week, card wise, that you want to talk about?
Nothing notable. Just been cleaning up.
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm in kind of this lull here for the past week and a half where I'm not really sure I don't know. I've got, the tennis set I believe is built. I'm trying to figure out, I got to sort through everything, but I think I've got the complete set and probably pretty close to all the inserts. So that's kind of done and out of the way. I'm not really sure what I'm focused on right now. I got to kind of gain some focus. I'm becoming interested in basketball because I joined a couple of fantasy basketball leagues, so that kind of got me excited about some basketball cards. The World Series is going on, although the Brewers are out, but I'm still excited a little bit about baseball. I have a thought with baseball I've been looking at a lot because I didn't collect it at all last year. Last 2 years, I completed a couple of sets in 2022. The Heritage base set and the Sonic Chrome, I believe, are the 2 I completed. I really want to collect, do a baseball set, but
God, they're big, man.
And they're expensive. The Chrome is expensive, so I'm actually thinking about doing Flagship, just the paper, because I told you about those foil boards that I really like.
Yeah.
Paper's relatively inexpensive, so I mean, in terms of being able to buy sealed product. So I'm thinking about either collecting the 2024 baseball paper. The boxes are, even the jumbo boxes are pretty reasonable.
Okay.
And those are the ones with the cool, like the neon design. Do you know the ones I'm talking about? They had like I think you did the football. I think you bought some
Oh
of the
yeah,
Topps Chrome football.
I know what they look. They have a
Like
neon
the
sign showing what the
yeah,
team is on the
yeah,
top. Yeah.
yeah. And I thought those were cool. So I'm thinking about that. I'm also oddly enough, and this just kind of came out of nowhere the other day, but and I know it's gimmicky. Don't get me wrong. I know it's gimmicky, but for some reason I like all the variations they have. But the Topps Holiday Baseball.
Oh
Have you
my
seen any of
god.
those cards?
Are there? They have like the. Don't they have the little like ornaments and stuff on there for the
Yeah,
parallels and
yeah,
everything?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Yeah. And they've got like they'll have variations with like the player in a Santa hat instead of their baseball cap, or a candy cane instead of a bat in their hand,
That's pretty
or
cool.
ornaments hanging from their gloves.
I
And
mean,
I'm totally into
you love
that
that
gimmicky
stuff.
crap. I
You
eat that stuff
love
up.
that stuff. I actually ripped a. So one of the breaks, I didn't get anything, so they sent me like a pack of 2025 Topps Baseball Series 2. And I ripped it, and I got an out of 50. And the design on it, the refractor has holiday. It's called Holiday Beach Ball, and there's little beach balls all over it.
Oh, cool.
And I just thought of you. I was like, oh man, he would
Do,
love the beach balls.
it's a paper.
Yeah,
It
it's
was.
paper.
Do you
Jose,
remember who the player is?
Jose Iglesias.
Okay,
Iglesias.
Jose Iglesias. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was looking at some of the prices of, but you can buy the 2024 Topps Holiday Baseball Mega Box for it's $50 right now
Oh
on
wow.
Blowout.
How much were
You can
they?
buy.
Oh, sorry. How much were they? Just retail like?
I don't know I know the 2025 just sold out on Topps website. I didn't even consider them oddly enough, but that's actually what planted the seed in my mind. But I think they were like, I believe it was like $50 for a mega.
Okay.
But you can get the 2022 Topps Holiday baseball boxes for $34.95.
I mean, how many would you have to rip to complete a set, though?
The set is smaller than I believe it's smaller than the regular baseball because I believe they have combinations of Top Series 1 and Series 2.
Ah, okay.
So I believe they're a little bit smaller, which makes them a little more achievable.
Because each series set of the base is, I think, like around 500 cards. It's like a 1,000 card set.
Yeah, well, Topps Series 1, I believe Series 1 and Series 2 are each 330 cards apiece
Oh, okay. Well, that's not
or
quite a
around
1,000.
there. But then they have the update series, which is another few hundred cards. So you are actually pushing close to 1,000.
Whew. Man.
So yeah, so that kind of crossed my mind.
I mean, the new wrestling set will come out. I mean, a lot of the sets are slowly coming out, the new stuff. We're kind of in this period where nothing's really being hyped up too much.
Wrestling is coming in hot, but then going down. So the wrestling, the Topps Chrome Cactus Jack, which was the original. Remember, I told you I wasn't going to buy any of that stuff at 500 a box. They're down to 274.95 on Blowout, so it's getting more reasonable because the latest set came out, Topps Finest.
Jeez.
Those are now running at 459.95. I think they'll go down also, so I'm going to hang tight. Plus, none of those. There's a few of the inserts that I like, but none of those sets are catching my fancy like Panini's stuff did.
That's too bad. That's too bad. Is Panini still going to make wrestling? Just not.
No,
They're just done.
they lost the license. Yeah, they're done. What did you see? You were talking about something on Blowout, some prices, some pricing stuff that you
Well, I just
had a
don't.
question for you.
I don't really understand. So, the Topps website sells a box for, let's say, $200, and then you go on Blowout Cards and they're selling it for $450, and then you go to a hobby store or eBay and they're selling it for like $600. Like, I just don't understand how these prices. What, who is making these prices up? Like, what is going on?
So my guess is that Tops. Okay, so Tops sets their. They do direct distribution now, so off of their website. So that's their price, which is usually going to be the lowest.
Is that
And
recent that they're doing direct distribution? Do you know?
yeah. After Fanatics took over, they used to before Fanatics took over Tops, they used to sell to wholesale distributors.
I see. Wow. Okay. Huh. So that
There
kind
was
of
some online exclusive stuff that they would do occasionally, but for the most part, it was through distributors, which Panini's still doing. But Topps moved to a direct distribution model when Fanatics took over. So then it hits the So then what happens is, so individuals will buy off of the Topps website. I think they also probably do distribution out to specific dealers as well. But it's going to be those people then who are setting the secondary market price.
okay. But that's not Blowout Cards setting the secondary price.
I think they probably. I think they're probably a big part of it just because of the amount of volume. But I think what happens is when the stuff goes out on, if somebody buys into the pre-sale or whatever, so like for Topps basketball, for example, the pre-sale, they'll buy in, and then people will just start pricing it at a double or something on eBay on the secondary market, which kind of, I don't know if Blowout Cards looks at that. I think they might adjust based on what happens there, what they see the secondary market prices are looking like, and then base it on that. And then I don't know at that point how individual like card stores and stuff would do it in independent like local card shops. I would think they would have to try to match Blowout.
Yeah, I would think so, right? Because it's pretty easy just to go on Blowout Cards and buy box or two or even a case at
Or Steel City or Dave and Adams
They're
or
all the same.
Burbank Cards. I mean, they all have, a tremendous amount of volume. So it might be that people don't know about that. And so those people are still buying on eBay.
I wonder how much these companies are paying Topps to get these allocations for. I mean, because Topps could just be selling these cards for 400. What Blowout Cards are selling them for? It seems like they're losing money, but whatever. Maybe that's getting into finances too much. Not about
Well,
collecting.
Topps definitely, when they sell to Blowout, and I think when they sell to their affiliated dealers, I think those dealers get a pretty advantageous price, like less than what we would get it for during, like, for example, again, let's take the Topps. Well, let's take the SpongeBob, right? The pre-sale was what for the SpongeBob blasters? You said it was $40?
$40 a box, yeah.
Yeah, so when they sell to when Topps puts it on their website, it's $40. My guess is like Blowout Cards and other card shops get it at a better price. They buy in enough volume, they actually get a more advantageous price than $40. They might get it at 30 or something. That's my guess. I don't own a card shop, you don't either, so we don't know for
We're
sure.
just speculating.
And I'm also kind of taking what I've read on different Reddits and what I've heard on different podcasts. So I think there's definitely a more advantageous price that they're getting in the initial distribution from Topps.
Yeah. I'm just bringing this up because it just kind of upset me a little bit, just because I feel like I was getting like scammed. Like, oh man, I could have bought these boxes for $40, but now I have to pay double the price, 80 on blowout cards or eBay or something.
Yeah, that's right. You told me about that. Those SpongeBob boxes that we're selling for $39.95 on Tops, direct to the retail buyer, in this case you. Once those sold out, you said they went up to like 80 to $100.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but
And
that's not unreasonable for any other sport or sport card or anything. Everything does that, right?
same thing happened. Well, it depends again on the popularity. The same thing happened with Topps Chrome Wrestling. It obviously did not happen with like Topps Holiday Baseball. Those seem to be priced pretty much the same as they were on Topps. So I guess it just depends on,
Just popularity.
yeah, the demand for it versus the supply. And then don't you think breakers have to, if there's a huge demand for breaking, then breakers are going to demand more, so that would probably increase the overall demand while decreasing the supply, right? If breakers were buying a significant quantity.
So yeah, let's say they were breaking a case of SpongeBob and they bought it from Topps. That's depleting the supply quite a bit. But they're doing something totally different with those cards than blowout cards are. Is that what you're saying? They're buying it directly from Topps, or
I don't know how breakers get their distribution, to tell you the truth.
breaking is just a whole different entity. Like I could talk
I
about breaking forever.
I would think so. You remember that card shop we went to here where they were breaking in the back room?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're like they are registered with Fanatics as a dealer, so they get whatever order, whatever quantity is allocated to them at the price that's lower than what we buy it at on the Topps website, so
Right.
below the $39.95 in this case. And then, so that's their price to break. But I don't know about breakers because there's a lot of just independent breakers on Whatnot and on, eBay Live and on Fanatics. I don't know. Well, I don't know about Fanatics, but like, for example, eBay Live and Whatnot, which isn't affiliated at all with Fanatics. I don't know where all of those people get their, do they have some sort of a distribution deal with Fanatics, or because they're not a card shop, they don't get that? I don't know how that works either.
Well, I think if it's a popular enough product, I think they still get a profit. Even if they buy it like at full price or whatever blowout cards or eBay is selling them for. Just because people will pay a lot of money for the chase cards. And that's how, you get, you pay for the product, and because you have to pay for somebody to rip wax. That's the scary part. That's a service that we're paying for. We're paying for someone to rip wax.
Well, is it that, or are you paying for the ability to buy into specific cards that you're interested in, whether that be teams or players, or in your case, characters or locations within SpongeBob? Are you paying for that, or are you paying for you're paying for the fact that you can go after a specific, you can focus what you want to collect without having to buy an entire box or case of your own?
Thinking about it, I mean, sometimes, when you pay for, when something's popular and you pay the breaker for a specific spot, you're taking the risk. The buyer is. But if they're breaking something that is unpopular, and nobody wants to buy it, and so they keep on reducing the price, the breaker is definitely taking the risk. So we're actually paying them to rip that wax. So I think it's a little bit of both. And I think it kind of evens out. So when they buy a popular product from Topps or get allocated that from Topps, they're also getting this unpopular stuff that they have to try to move. Does that make any sense? I don't know.
It does. It
It's kind of
does.
making
Yeah.
sense.
No, it makes total sense. I do think there's that is the risk they're taking. I also think they're taking on in my opinion, I think breaking can. I mean, there are some breaking companies obviously that are huge, and I mean, backyard breaks. I think they make millions and millions of dollars for their company. I also think though, like for smaller breakers, I mean, to me it looks like a lot of work, right? You and I have shipped stuff on eBay. I mean, organizing the break, pricing it out, running the break for, if it's 5 cases, it takes several hours.
Yeah.
Then you got to pack everything up, ship it out. Usually they have to get it shipped out next day in order to keep, their status as a to continue to get good feedback as a breaker. I mean, the logistics to me,
Imagine how much stress. I mean, just from
it wouldn't be
doing-
fun. I don't think it would be fun. I don't think it would be fun. I enjoy ripping. I mean, I rip a box and I kind of get it out of my system, right? I can't rip like 5 boxes in a row. I get bored.
That's a lot of boxes. And I get a lot of excitement because I get to keep the card as well.
Yeah, and for me, I get to sort them out and organize them into the set that I'm trying to build. So
Right.
that's where the satisfaction comes for me.
It is a lot of logistics. I mean,
What I've found, and this has been for years and years now, is I can wait after the initial release of the set, kind of like an IPO of a stock, right? If you just, there's all the hype that comes out with the initial release, but then after several months, when new product comes out and those become people are hyped up about those new products, there's typically some leftover remnants of the old products that then people want to get out of their inventory, and so they start to discount it. And that's typically when I'll go in and start to decide, okay, now I'm going to work on a set. I mean, for example, we were just talking about Topps baseball now, right? I'm looking at 2024 stuff now, even though it's 2020, 2025 is
well,
already.
you said you were looking at 2022 stuff as well. Like that's
for the holiday. I'm actually looking at 2018 Topps holiday, which has Otani's rookie and Juan Soto's rookie. There's probably someone in there I'm forgetting about, but those mega boxes are selling for 300.
300, okay. Because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about it was also it was one of the earlier years of holidays, so the set is I was looking at the checklist. The set is actually much smaller, which is nice. You know, like me, that it's always a little bit easier to collect the smaller sets than the 1,000 card sets or whatever.
How big was the tennis set?
200 base cards, and then it's got like 5 or 6 different insert subsets that look pretty reasonably sized.
Wow. So you
I
mentioned
don't know the entire checklist yet.
So you mentioned you got the John McEnroe out of 50 or out of 25.
25, yeah.
So not all signatures in there are serial numbered, right?
No, they're not all serial numbered.
I think we kind of just went over that. That's a big hit. That's a good card, man.
They're not only are they not serial numbered. Well, it was interesting because I asked your brother, by the way. I asked Evan, and he said that he had not heard of John McEnroe. I thought most people have.
I think most people have.
So hang on, I was looking. So the Topps Tennis Chrome 2024 checklist. So the autographs are interesting because they have 2 or 3 different sets of. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, yeah. So they've got two different sets of autographs. So they have what's called Autographs 1, which is the largest one, and it has a lot of people that I don't even know, right? They might be ranked in the top 300 or 400 in the world, which is obviously very good, but as far as me having seen them on television or heard about them, I'm usually not going to hear about somebody until they get into the top 100. So those are more common. Those come one in every 7 packs, so 3 per box. But then within there, they have autographs 2, which is less common, 1 in 95 packs.
Okay.
And let me see if John McEnroe is in that particular one. No, he's not even in that one. He's in one called Autograph Image Variation, which is 1 in 858 packs.
Ooh. Sheesh.
And then there's
you
and
rip
then of those
858
there's
packs?
of those there's different refractors. So the orange refractor is 1 out of 3,348 packs. So somehow I've only ripped 5 boxes, either 4 or 5, I can't remember, just because I like to count how many it takes me to get the set. I think it's been 4, and I got 2 of the image variation autographs. I got Billie Jean King and John McEnroe.
Man. That must have been exciting. Ripping that. We'll show a picture of John McEnroe in the Instagram.
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty cool.
It was a cool card to get. Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, you're not going to collect all the inserts for this set either?
I'm going to do the insert sets.
Okay.
I'm not going to do like all the refractor. I'm not going to do like the refractor set because it's 200. I'd have to get all 200 refractors. And then they've also got frozen fractors.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, those are 1 in 1,170 packs. Those are 0 to -5. And they've got so I'm just doing the base set and the base insert sets, and that's it.
I've been having trouble. I think insert sets they're easier to collect. They're easier but they're also harder and more expensive because I'm trying to finish my insert sets for the disc golf. But I mean, if there's 10 cards of the most popular players and they're also very rare, not as common as like base cards, it gets expensive, man. I've kind of been realizing that. It's going to be a long process to get these insert sets done.
Yeah, inserts are typically, and each insert set may have a different pack odds. So one particular insert might only be 1 a box.
Yeah.
It might only be 1 a case.
Yeah. So this one that I'm working on is the Hero series, and it seems to be 1 a box. So and I have 5 of them. I bought a couple, but they're priced at like $60 a card. So I mean,
Wow.
yeah, they're very popular.
And you said how many are there? You think
20.
in the set?
There's 20.
20.
Yeah. It'll be.
No, I think that's a doable set.
It'll be
that's
a long-term thing. But then when 2026 comes out, I'll want to complete that one too. It's like never ends. It never ends.
Nope, that's the fun of it. It's just trying to figure out what to do in between those sets that sometimes I have trouble figuring out what I want to do there. I'm also... So, talk about... By the way, did you hear anything about your Beckett submission?
Yes. So, I think a day or two after we talked about it last week, they notified me on Gmail, like they have it and everything. So that was kind of a relief. Yeah, it's weird that they just don't do that right away, or maybe they're just on such heavy back order that they couldn't do it because it's a little nerve wracking when you don't know where your cards are. But they have them.
A lot of the podcasts I was listening to this week were the discussion was around PSA and not only the increase in grading prices, but the turnaround time and also the charge up they do, the additional tax that you get for having a card that goes over certain values. So people were really up in arms about this, and I still have this stack sitting on my, well, now I moved it over to a box, but of my submission cards, my cards that I would like to submit. And I'm not sure. I'm just having trouble pulling the trigger on.
My first impression on the charge up thing, I think that's stupid. I mean, their point of view is they want a portion of the money that you'll get from their grading it a 10, you know. I think that's unrealistic. I think that's just
What I was hearing, an interesting take that I heard on it, I believe this was on Jeremy Lee's Sports Card Live podcast, but he made a point that I really thought was interesting and a very good point in that. So what they do is if you submit a card at the bulk value and it ends up getting a 10, and because it's a 10, now it's worth $2,000, let's say, they're going to upcharge you because you're getting value out of the fact that it got graded at 10. There's a presumption there. What Jeremy was saying on that podcast was there's a presumption there that you're going to take that card and sell it right away.
yeah.
So this gave me a whole new, that's all of a sudden I started rethinking whether or not I want to grade these things because, well, I don't know if any of them will go over that, if I would get upcharged. But it got me to thinking, what am I grading this for? Because I'm not sure I necessarily want to sell those cards. They're cards I bought because I like them. So is it got me to reevaluate my whole purpose behind grading to the point where at $22 a card, I'm not sure I feel like doing that right now.
I totally agree with you. I don't think you should. And that's kind of that made a lot of sense to me because the PSA didn't do any of the work preserving the card before it was being graded, sent to them. They grade cards all the time. Like it doesn't it takes 10 seconds to grade a 10 or a 9 or whatever grade they do. You're getting it back, 65 days later, and they want, and you're not even selling it. They're presuming that you're selling it right after or whatever. Who knows? Maybe the card value goes down, or you just want to keep it, which a lot of people do, and you have to pay a bunch of money to PSA.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense to me because they're getting a crap ton of money already from all of these people that are grading base cards or something, like they don't need any of these profits from these big hitter cards or whatever. It seems greedy. It seems very greedy to me.
Yeah. There's something about this is maybe why I haven't been doing that much this week other than looking at building sets because this whole thing has been in the back of my mind. I think you kind of hit on it a little bit. I mean, should I be thinking more about? I guess I need to think more about. I don't know. I enjoy grading them though. I enjoy seeing. I enjoy. I told you about the whole kind of testing my own knowledge of my own ability to spot good quality
Yeah.
cards of that I want to collect. Good quality, versions or examples of the cards that I want to collect. And it is kind of cool to be able to send those in and say, oh, I was right. It's a 10. And it looks cool when it comes back in the case. But then I hear things about like another thing that was talked about this week was population control, that they're trying to, in order, and there isn't, there is, I'm not saying this is happening at all, but I can see that there would be a reason to keep the population of certain cards, the certain tens and gem mints of certain cards lower, because that preserves the value of that those particular slabs, and also the name of the company that's grading it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it in a way it's marketing the value of the company that's grading it. And so until I know, I'm not entirely comfortable yet. And again, I'm not saying this is happening. I
Who
don't know.
knows?
Well, that's part of the problem, is we don't know the process entirely. But I'm not 100% convinced that the grading is the standard is as objective as I would like it to be. I know with a human it can't be 100% objective, but I get the feeling there's other factors. There's certainly motivation for other factors to creep into the process a little bit. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. I. We're just gonna say PSA for now because this is. It is PSA. Let me just. Yeah.
Well, PSA is the. I mean,
it's the one.
Yeah, they're the gold standard.
They
Right now.
gain the reputation, of being like a good grading company. They gain popularity, but now people are getting suspicious because maybe they are doing something now after they've gained this massive reputation of being the best grading company, everything. Like they have a lot of power to do all of this stuff, and they're not being transparent or anything. But what you're saying is that you like to kind of test yourself, test yourself in your grading capabilities. But you're also sending that card off to another opinionative person.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, you've talked about this before. Is it Tag that does the scanning and like the computer?
I believe Tag does AI grading is what they do.
They do AI grading. So that's a total non-subjective grading company.
Yeah, I don't know their process entirely, but
I'm sure that's what they're kind of promoting to. I haven't checked their website or anything, but I feel like
Tag stands for technical authentication and grading.
I mean, if you're looking for something for that purpose, just to test your skills and everything, I would send it to Tag. I mean, Beckett is also cheaper, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
we're only fighting about this because PSA is so popular, and it's like we feel at least I feel forced to send cards to PSA if I ever want to sell them again or liquidate them or do something with them. It's a lot of peer pressure to go to them right now. And maybe maybe I gotta find some courage and just use a different grading company.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Maybe I have to have a internal discussion, heart to heart with myself and say, is it. Do I care if when this thing comes graded back to me, and I believe it could get a 10, that I'm, going to have a card that isn't going to hold its value? Dude, does that? How much of a motivation is that for me? I've got to ask myself. But yes, Tag does slabs. Slabs include 1 to 10 grade as well as a digital image and grading report.
Oh, cool. Cool. Because you gave me a tag graded card. I kind of liked this. This was a Jamar Chase Donruss rated rookie, and you said have it, and I was very grateful for that. And it's graded a 10 from Tag, and like it's a pretty cool case. I mean, it's a cool case, and I should look into that company more.
Tag uses photometric stereoscopic imaging in order when they're doing their grading. And I guess I want to be clear. I do want to make this point. When I look for slabs, I look for PSA slabs. I'm in no way suggesting that there's anything nefarious. I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't exactly know how the grade is being determined.
Sure.
That said, I'll be completely honest. I'm probably still gonna send some stuff to PSA, some stuff that I.
Yeah.
But I may check out Tag. I mean, in that case, the only advantage of Beckett is that you're still getting human graders, but
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, and you get the subgrades.
And Beckett, I mean, I am perfectly fine with buying a Beckett graded slab. If you're in a card store and you see PSA and Beckett, I would be fine with either one of them, to be honest with you.
What I've been doing this past week is I was looking at some cards of some players that I'm interested in, a little more serial numbered versions of the cards. But I've been looking at, instead of PSA 10 slabs, PSA 9s or PSA 8s, because they just seem so undervalued.
Yeah.
That I can get a card that I'm going to be extremely happy with. Now I'm trying to look at it inside of the slab to make sure I'll be happy with it. But I'm getting a card that looks really nice and I'm going to be very happy with at a fraction of the cost.
Also, I mean, the stack of cards that you have ready to be graded, they're going to be the same condition whether or not you grade it. You don't need to grade them to have them in the same pristine condition.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is, why am I doing it? Am I doing it because, and that's what I got to ask myself. So if the cards that I really should be sending in are the ones that potentially I might want to go and sell later on in order to continue to support my collecting. Or maybe I want to get into doing a lot more collecting where I am buying stuff just to turn it around for additional value and then use that to fund more of my collecting habit.
Right.
Maybe I just need to buy into doing that and put in the work to do that instead.
I mean, I'm kind of doing that for that reason, to fund the hobby, because I don't have a ton of money to put towards this hobby, so I have to kind of make it a little lucrative, to kind of sustain itself.
Well, and transacting is fun. I mean, that's why we used to trade cards as kids, right? I mean, it's fun, and I still like to trade. It's a little harder to trade, I think, as you get older. I mean, even at card shows, you have to happen to run into somebody who has the cards that you want, and you have cards that they want. So you kind of have to. It's a little more challenging than if you just sell your card to one person and then go buy a card from another person using that money.
Yeah.
You're you're exchanging it into some sort of, commonly acceptable value.
And I think last time you mentioned that transaction is kind of like a three-way trade. It's like, but you don't have that face-to-face talk.
The last card show I traded at, I went to, that's where I traded for that Undertaker downtown, because I found somebody else who happened to have wrestling cards. There was actually 2 dealers there who had wrestling cards, and I traded with both of them. And I explained that I didn't want to sell. I only wanted to. I was only doing trades. I had no interest in selling, and fortunately we were able to both find cards from each other that we wanted. And one guy came while I was doing the trade, another person who was at the show, and said, "Hey, are you selling any of these?" He was looking over his shoulder, and I said, "I really don't want to sell. I'm looking to trade right now."
When's the next card show? Tarek?
Oh, Sunday. Sunday I'm going to a card show.
Sunday.
I'm planning on.
Oh, where's the card show?
Rockford, Illinois.
Cool.
About
Nice.
2.5 hours from me. I've been to shows down there before, and I know I've seen a lot of the same dealers, so I've sort of developed where I know there's always a couple of people who deal in wrestling, and then it's typically pretty decent stuff, so it's fun to go around and look. But
Oh, dang, there's a card show in Denver this weekend. I should go to that.
you absolutely should.
I did not realize it was this soon. Okay.
Yeah, go there for a few hours. I mean,
Yeah, why
where
not?
is it at? Where in Denver specifically?
Stockyards Event Center. Do you know where that is? National Western Drive, Denver, Colorado. But it's 3 days. I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I could just go whenever I want. Okay, I'm glad I looked this up. I'm probably gonna go to a show next time.
Ah, good. We'll have some stuff to have some new things to talk about.
I don't even know what we talked about today. We kind of.
Oh, I mean, it was pretty. I thought we hit on a couple of good things. How to sort of zag around box prices, being significantly expensive. There's ways to still go out and be able to rip wax and be somewhat economical about it.
Right.
There's always strategies out there, I found out. And then just exploring more of grading, right? And the reasons we're grading, who we want to grade with. I think that I think you're right. I think we should try a couple of these. You're trying Beckett. I think I may go ahead and try out Tag with a couple of things and just see how it works out.
I think I kind of want to do that too. I kind of want to try Tag as well. But the only reason why I asked what we were talking about today, because we got to name the episode.
Oh, okay.
I always have trouble. We did get a comment on one of the episodes from Massimo that said, "Clickbait title got me on this one." He liked the best episode so far, Disc Golf and SpongeBob title. He
Is that someone we know?
Yeah, that's my buddy.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if anybody else is listening to this other than people we know, but
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
maybe we'll turn them all into collectors or something. That'd be great. Then we'll have people to trade with, and
Wouldn't that be awesome?
that would be the ultimate in
There's a little bit
victories
There's
on
a
our
little
part.
bit of everything, There's a little bit of everything. So I think we need a clickbait title.
Why do we talk? Oh, how about like something about like
PSA
I don't know,
suing
let's
us
talk-
for
I-
our defamation.
no, that I hope that's not. We didn't defame, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay, I'm not defaming anybody.
It's a clickbait title.
I like I said, I'm extremely. I like grading with. I mean, right now they're my number one choice.
Yeah, me too.
I'll send to them before anyone else.
I send a lot of cards to PSA. Don't sue us, PSA, please.
I don't know. Let's think of something
We'll
offline.
think of something, and you guys will see it on the title. What we thought of. How about that? The listener.
All right.
All right. Thank you for listening, everyone.
For episode 6, I'm Tarek.
And I'm Zayd. Have a good night.
See you next time.